How I made over $100,000 as a teenager in wholesaling real estate and how you can do the same exact thing. What is up guys, Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I wanna show you how as a teenager, I made so much money wholesaling real estate and how you can do the same exact thing. The honest truth is there were 7 fundamental principles I kept to myself and I did not stray away from that led to me having wholesaling real estate success. These 7 principles is what guided me into making my first 6 figures in wholesaling real estate. They weren't rules, but they were pretty much principles that I used that helped guide me to success starting out. And these are the same principles when I have people that make 6 figures their first year, especially at a young age in wholesaling, they always do. A lot of these rules are really unspoken. And that's what makes this so interesting. I really didn't know I was even following these rules until I made my first 100K. And then I realized, hey, this is the thing, my guiding light that actually led me and pushed me to make this type of money. And the truth is, the people that don't become successful, the people that actually quit in wholesaling, they don't follow these 7 principles. And I think it's really interesting and why I wanted to bring light to this in this video today so you can understand exactly what pushed me and exactly the things that made me over 6 figures my first year wholesaling, especially as a 17-year-old teen that really didn't know much, that led me to success that you can do the same thing. So number 1, and the one that's really unspoken in wholesaling real estate of how teenagers become successful or new wholesalers become successful is they're just in the right market. I don't think this is talked about enough, but this is completely true. A lot of wholesalers are in the wrong market. And what I mean by this is you might be the best wholesaler ever. You might be working super hard, but you're putting all this effort in South Florida. You might be in Chicago, LA, New York City, Scottsdale, Arizona, and you're just putting all your efforts, you're pulling the right lists, you're cold calling enough, you got the right softwares, you got the perfect script, but your results just aren't as good as some of your peers maybe in Knoxville, Chattanooga, Columbus, Georgia, Dallas, Texas. And you're wondering, what's the issue? What are they doing right that I'm doing wrong? And maybe they're cold calling worse. Maybe they're less confident talking to sellers. You're like, oh my gosh, how am I not becoming successful here? Well, the honest truth you need to understand here is sometimes it's not the marketing, but it's the market to blame. Now, for most of the time, it's the marketing that's the problem. But one key thing is you can always up the marketing. You can always make your marketing better. But it's extremely hard to change your local market if you have a job there, kids, family. And so I think that people watching this really need to take a step back and look like, hey, am I in the right market? Am I in the wrong market? What's going on? If you want to know if you're in the right market or not, I would research your own markets. What I found for a good wholesaling market is the population for the county to be over 100,000 people and the median home price to be below 400,000. A quick Google search will show you both of these things to see if you're in the right market or in the wrong market for wholesaling real estate. Number 2, I never overcomplicated things. And if you're a person that likes to get really into the analysis paralysis, overlooking everything, getting so stressed out, this might be a huge issue for you, and I completely understand where you're coming from. I'm an analytical dude, so it took me a lot of effort starting out not to overcomplicate things. And this helped having Rick around and seeing other successful wholesalers do well. But what I always found was the successful people, they just did it. They didn't question themselves. They were kind of stupid in this sense doing this, but it always ended up doing better. It's better to take action than it is to be perfect and take no action at all. So what you need to be doing right now is just go out here and do the work. That's it. Do it sloppy if you had to. This is a lesson I learned in high school wrestling. It was better just to wrestle with not perfect technique, but just getting the reps and the practice than going out here and watching film and studying. You kind of learn on the job in high school wrestling, playing football and all these other sports. By just doing it, you'll learn more than just watching and studying the film. Now there's the film, the studying the information, that's great, but by just getting the constant reps and repetition and getting comfortable with just taking the action, you actually end up doing better at it. It's a lot harder to be worse at baking. Let's say you're making a pumpkin pie. If you do it 100 times, the 100th pumpkin pie is usually gonna be better than the first one because you get so comfortable with the process. Same thing in wholesaling, real estate, cold calling, talking to sellers, dispositions, all these things. When you did your 100th deal, you're always better at the whole process than with your first deal. So what I implore everyone to do here is just take action. Do it not perfectly, but just do the effort. I promise you it will always yield you better wholesaling results. Number 3 here, and this might be a scary one, but I just was myself. I stuck to my guns and I did what my gut was telling me. And this might be a weird lesson for a lot of wholesalers to know, or really to think about, but you gotta be yourself. You cannot be Jordan Belfort, you can't be Zach Ginn, you have to be you. When I was starting out talking to sellers, I was not as good as Rick Ginn, because I am not Rick Ginn. Rick Ginn's already taken. Zach Ginn, me, I'm already taken. I'm already myself. You cannot pretend to be me. You can't act like me. You need to act like yourself. Because when you're acting like yourself, you are the only person you can be. You're one in a billion. And so this is why you starting out wholesaling real estate need to be with yourself. If you're comfortable with your own skin, your confidence is gonna skyrocket. The way I wholesale shouldn't be the exact way you do it. You should do it the way that makes you comfortable with the right parameters, still using the skills and the rules we have at freewholesaling.com, my free wholesaling course. But I'm saying it, you should not overcomplicate things here. When you overcomplicate things, this business gets way worse. So just make it simple, don't overcomplicate it, and you'll do a lot better. Stick to your guts too. If you're in a weird situation and you really don't think the seller's motivated and they don't give you a good reason, it's probably not a good deal. Number 4 here, and this is a big one. I took daily action. Now I know this seems a little redundant and like, yeah, duh, but it's true. Even a little bit of action a day keeps the momentum going. It's like working out every single day. When you get in the habit of working out, it's not even the habit of just doing the work, it's just showing up. You just get that habit going and you start making time for things. And so maybe you cold call only an hour a day, but if you show up every single day and do it, it becomes a routine in your life and it becomes a must, and you end up doing more of that thing. Talking to sellers every day, pulling your lists every day, closing more deals every day. When you show up every single day and do the work, the results are always gonna follow. Action always equals results. So if you wanna get the result you want, the desired result, you're going to have to take action. Action is always going to lead to the results, and you're watching this video because you want to make 100K in a year, right? The best way to make 100K in the year is by doing the results, which you have to do the action for. Number 5, I was patient. This is a big one. A lot of wholesalers want to make a lot of money really quick, but a lot of y'all don't want to be patient for it. Sometimes, and I hate to say it, it's going to take 2, 3, 4 months to get your first wholesaling deal. This might be a little stressful for you. This might be a little daunting, but you might have to wait a little bit. Maybe because you're working a lot of jobs, you can only put 2 or 3 hours a week into cold calling, whatever it is. But you watching this right now, you gotta be patient. Good things come to those who wait and people that take daily action. If you take daily action, you're making offers on a weekly basis, you're gonna end up getting good wholesaling deals if you pull the government lists and do the list that we say in freewholesaling.com, my free wholesaling course. So go out here and take action. Do it daily, it will always yield you the best results. Number 6 here, this is a huge one, but I had my why. I always had my reason why to keep going. When I woke up in the morning and I knew I did not want to start cold calling sellers, I did not want to put bandit signs out, I did not want to follow up with these leads, I had that underlining reason why in the back of my head why I kept going. I never quit. I always pushed myself and worked extremely hard. This why pushed me beyond the regular capabilities of most beginner wholesalers, because I knew I was destined for more. I knew I didn't want to scrub toilets. I knew I didn't want to bag groceries the rest of my life. I knew that was not the life I deserved. I did not want to be broke, and that's not who I was and who I deserved to be. And so what I did instead was I decided to make that change. I had my why, I stuck to it, and I knew exactly that the grind I was doing was for my future, my kids' future, and my family's financial future forever. The truth is, a lot of you guys are getting into wholesaling, you get a little situation and you start feeling sorry for yourself and you quit. That is not what you're supposed to do here. When it gets hard, you keep pushing. When it gets hard, you keep cold calling. When it gets hard, you keep talking to sellers. When it gets hard, you double down on your action. That's always gonna help you make more money in wholesaling real estate. Having that why was super important to push you past the point where most people quit. Most people who are young in wholesaling real estate, their why is to get rich, get the girls, get the Lamborghini, get the cool boat, and that's what it is. But your why is different. Your why is to help your family. That is something that should push you more than any teenager that's trying to get the cool car. That car's superficial, that car's stupid, it doesn't retire your mom, but your why should. It's bigger than you, it's bigger than everyone else, it's bigger than an individual person, it's for your family, which I believe why you're doing this here, so you can have wholesaling results. And number 7, which kind of leads into number 6 here, but this was, I wanted it more than anybody else. There's a lot of wholesalers in my own market, especially when I was making 6 figures my first year. They had a bigger why than me. There are wholesalers out here that were starting out the same time I was that had a wife and kids and elderly parents, and they're trying to take care of them. And I kind of had my why I didn't want to scrub dookie off of toilets. Like, my why should be worse than the other person's why. But sometimes that's not the X factor of why someone becomes successful, and why someone like me will get up at 5 a.m. and stay up all night putting out bandit signs and all day talking to sellers and doing everything to get deals. It wasn't because my why was more, but I wanted it more. I didn't care to get up super early and be tired because I had no other options. It was be a bag boy or get rich. And I was always going to choose to get rich or die trying. When the guy with the family and the wife and kids, he was wholesaling, but he got a little comfortable. He still knows why to get up in the morning, but it wasn't a hunger that was pushing him that hurt him to go out here to get it going. Have you ever been super hungry, like starving, and you do anything to get some food? It was like a hunger pain inside. I was sick of being broke. That wholesaler that was getting started, yeah, they had the wife and kids, but they didn't have that true pain. They didn't want it enough, and I wanted it more than anything. And that was the single X factor I can think that helped me out of any situation. What keeps pushing me to become one of the top wholesalers in the country, do a bunch of JV deals, try to become the top wholesaler by volume every single year, by scaling out all my operations and going even crazier? Why do I keep doing videos and teaching people for free, even though I already have a free wholesaling course with hundreds of thousands of people? Why do I keep flexing on wholesaling gurus? It's because I want it more. I want to help this industry so much because I feel the need that this industry needs. I don't do this because I want to, I do this because I need to. Same thing with me getting started in wholesaling real estate and making a ton of money. You gotta go out here and do it. And the last factor here is knowledge. Knowledge used to be a thing that helped me out a lot, but really it's not even a thing anymore. At freewholesaling.com, our free real estate wholesaling course here, right here at freewholesaling.com, you can learn how to wholesale houses for free. It literally costs no money to get the information. So the information barrier of getting started in wholesaling real estate is not there anymore, and that was really the 8th factor, but it's really only 7 now. You just go to freewholesaling.com, you like this video and subscribe, and you'll get going for wholesaling success. Guys, if you made 6 figures your first year wholesaling, let me know what else guided you into doing this, and I'd love to hear it. Guys, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you got any value from this video, and I'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.